Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your November 2021 new moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Aquarius be affected by the November 2021 new moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. All right. So at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Fool, and we have the Hierophant. So we're starting a new journey, and we have to be true to ourselves during this time, but we're also going to be embracing something that we can think is astoundingly foolish, or other people can be saying to us, why are you doing this? But we have to, again, stay true to our traditional self, to who we are and the way that we want to progress forward within our lives. The Hierophant also represents Taurus energy. So if we have Taurus within our natal chart or in our lives, they're coming through very powerfully at our root. We then have Temperance, which is Sagittarius energy. And we have the King of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. This new moon is in Scorpio, so that's coming through very powerfully and will affect us very powerfully in our inner self. Excuse me. Temperance, balance, understanding is also going to be something that we're kind of finding our way forward in. We're finding our way forward in embracing our emotions, embracing the way that we want to move forward, embracing what we need. But if we have Sagittarius energy within our natal chart, or if we have water sign energy within our natal chart, that's coming through very powerfully here, or if we have these people within our lives, they're going to affect us inwardly. They're going to affect who we are and the way that we're seeing things. We have the Hangman and the Tower, both major arcana cards, so the heart hits heavy here during this time, so just be aware of that. Then we have the Queen of Cups. I love that you have the King and the Queen of Cups right here, even though they're not from the same deck, so it doesn't mean that it's like a soulmate connection like it could be if they were from the same deck. But there's a powerful connection of the heart moving us forward. We're going to see a lot of the things internally that we're working out. They also tend to play themselves out on the external, on the public arena stage. Then with the Ace of Swords, we have God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift of knowledge, of insight, of ideas, of cutting through doubts and fears and negativity, to be able to stand and to be able to say what it is that we need to say. This is going to be a time where everything that we sweep under the rug, it's coming out, and it's coming out with a vengeance. So do be mindful of that. Let's look at the energy we have to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. So it's two. It's the King of Cups who affects us in our inward self. But this is also saying here, we have to be mindful of somebody whose bark and bite are really quite intense. This is a person who is going to, it's going to play with the heart, and it's going to go after the things of the heart and know our emotional weaknesses. So do be mindful of this. And then we have Cernunnos. We have Capricorn energy also coming forward. And this is a sense of consequences to actions. Now, this is also a sense of things not working or not moving forward exactly the way that we had thought they would, or we didn't think it all through. This could also be people in our lives that are emotionally very manipulative, and also they don't have a tendency to think through their actions. So just be mindful of that, Aquarius, that you could be pulled into their mess, okay? And then we have chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides. We have self-mastery. Now, this is the solar plexus chakra, and there's a sense here of us mastering ourselves, us being able to move forward in the sense of falling into alignment with who we are and where we want to be. Why? Because all the muck and the mire is coming out. We're seeing things, we're saying things that maybe we didn't think we would see, we didn't think we would say, but now this is going to be a time of like, no, I need to express this, I need to move forward this way, and I need to have me matter. And Aquarius, that's going to be a really powerful thing for us. Now, this new moon on the 4th of November is in Scorpio. This is an intense new moon. It is an intense time. Now, as all new moons are, the sun is conjunct the moon, which always represents the end of one cycle and the beginning of another. Here it says, work through your fears. And this is what this time is going to call forward for us. It's working through our fears. It's seeing the ending of something and the beginning of something else. Our energy is really focused around balancing, and that's going to be balancing the beginnings and the endings. It's going to be emotional for us. It can be also overwhelming. There is going to be a sense of clear direction that comes with this burst of energy, with this burst of insights, and we are able to get things done, things that we have been putting off, things that we could never finish, things that we could never start. Now is the time to do it. Now is the time with a new moon to go after what it is that we really want. This new moon is opposite Uranus, which brings with it struggles for independence. Everybody wants to go their own way. Everybody wants to figure out who the heck they are. Are we doing the right thing? Are they doing the right thing? Are we moving forward the right way? These questions are important to us. They're intense and they're powerful for us. Everybody's demanding to see something of themselves and to see something from themselves. And this can be a time where, again, the things that we swept under the rug, we're not going to sweep them under the rug anymore. This is going to be the time where if we had, pots on the back burner, they start to bubble oil over, they start to light on fire, things become intense, and we're intensely looking at the way that we need to move forward. Things can become chaotic because change is going to happen all of a sudden and unexpectedly. It can absolutely blindside us. Be aware of this. We need to adjust. We need to look at things with openness and honesty. We need to not be so hard on ourselves, but we need to keep an open mind. And we also need to take responsibility where we need to take responsibility. So that's also going to be important. We're going to find that we are embracing what we desire during this time. We're looking at ourselves. We're finding ourselves grounded. We're finding ourselves, stabilizing. We're really looking at our roots and the where and the when that we want to be in life. We're going to find that we need to step out of our comfort zone. We need to go after the unusual. We need to try something new. Even if it's a small adventure, we need to go on that adventure. Mercury sextile Venus is going to be a harmonizing factor through the bulldozer that is the new moon opposite Uranus. So with Mercury sextile Venus, what we have here is this calming energy, this stabilizing energy, this energy that centers us, helps center us from the chaos of Mercury opposite Uranus, not Mercury, new moon opposite Uranus, and helps center us in this sense of self, in this sense of communication, in the sense of what we desire. Things may become overwhelming, but again, we have this centering energy that lets us see who we are and where it is that we want to be, and lets us also know that we need to distress. Mercury sextile Venus brings with it love, friendship, cooperation, compromise, and brings people and ideas together. Even as the moon opposite, not the moon, even as the new moon opposite Uranus has everybody wanting to go their own ways. We start to say, no, but this is where we need to be. We start to have this glue that even though people like drift apart, they come back together. It's like putty, almost, silly putty. The stars during this time are also going to be important. We have the constellation of the Crown that highlights our artistic ability and our love for flowers. We would want to have fresh cut flowers in the house if we can. If we can't, or if we don't like fresh cut flowers, it could be plants, it could be fake flowers. We're going to want to have that sense of alive, that sense of green, especially as if we're in the northern hemisphere in a cold climate, especially as the days get cold and the days get shorter and things get a little bit more gray and not colorful, before the winter starts. Within the constellation of the Crown, but let's talk about the negative sign of the Crown aspect. It brings mental weariness and disillusionment, because it's like, I'm wearing this crown, I have this weight upon my shoulders, I can't let it go, I can't give it to somebody else. And it brings with it a sense of disillusionment with the world, a sense of, I'm seeing things for as they really are, not as necessarily I want them to be. And that could really be upsetting. What we're also going to see here is with the fixed star in Alphecca, which is within the Crown constellation, is that the nature of Venus and Mercury really start to come forward, really are intense. And we're already used to these planets coming forward because of Mercury's sextile Venus. What happens here is that Alphecca brings with it honor and dignity. It brings with it an enhancement of our artistic and poetic abilities. The constellation that also comes into play is the Cross, which gives us perseverance, but also can bring with it burdens, hardships, and suffering. Within the constellation of the Cross comes the fixed star Arcus. And Arcus is of the nature of Jupiter, which brings with it religious and spiritual inclinations. We're going to be very drawn to the things of ancient times, of the past. We're also going to find that we have an inclination towards ceremonies and justice, as well as needing to see and rekindle the magic within the world, needing to see the magic of the world again. So that's going to be very important for us to embrace the beauty, embrace magic, embrace the intensity of what we want and where we're going. But again, with ceremonies and justice, we can tend to think like, oh, okay, everything will just work out, everything will just be just. We have to be a little bit wiser and be very discerning with the energy that we let in, and very wise with the way that we go about things, not really leaving it up to other people to let everything be just within our lives, but really taking the reins for ourselves. It moves us to the Fool. There's a sense here of needing that adventure. The new moon opposite Uranus brings that need for the adventure, for the unusual. And we're going to find ourselves stepping out of our comfort zone, going after what it is that we desire, where it is that we need to be, looking at things differently than we have before. And that becomes powerful for the way that we move forward, for what it is that we want from our lives. At our root, we're looking at things and saying, well, why not? Why not try? Why not start? Why not go after? And it looks at the hierophant, where it's us rekindling and it's taking out the things that we swept under the rug. It's taking out our dreams. It's taking out our hopes. It's taking out our wishes and saying, I see you again. And it's been a long time. Life got messy. Life got overwhelming. Life got chaotic. Life got scary. But I see you again. I see me again. I see the things that I don't want to live without. I see the things that I cannot turn away from. I see the way that I need to connect with myself. And all of a sudden, that's powerful. All of a sudden, that's purposeful. All of a sudden, this is who we are. And that becomes the game changer here. We're looking at the power of our dreams and our wishes. We're looking at the power of the things that are our roots. Now, the hierophant is the major arcana marriage card. So we're looking at what we're committed to. And it doesn't mean that we have to be committed to one person. We could never want to get married. And that's perfectly fine. Everybody's on their own journey. We tend to think, oh, we have to fall into this cookie cutter way of being. And Spirit's saying, no. Be who it is that you need to be. Let yourself explore. Let yourself dance under the new moon. Let yourself be. Let yourself become. Let yourself ask. Let yourself discover. Let yourself be on this journey openly and honestly and tenaciously and powerfully. As we embrace our roots, as we embrace our power, as we embrace the most powerful card or the most powerful symbol in medieval European times, which was the Pope, which was the hierophant. And so here we have that energy coming forward of this is power. This is more powerful than kings. This is more powerful than emperors. This is what changes the course of the world, because it is our connection to divinity. And this is going to be our connection as an individual to the divine. And it moves us to balance. And that's what we want during this time. We want to balance the change that's coming in. We want to balance the chaos that's coming in. We want to see and understand the unexpected. We're not going to be able to see and understand the unexpected as well as we would like to. But there is a power and an intensity to balancing it, to embracing where we stand in the center and seeing the waters that are flowing and seeing the ideas that are coming and understanding the way that we need to move forward and understanding what's right for us and what isn't right for us. And all of a sudden that leads us to the place of our hearts. With the King of Cups, we start to embrace what we love, but we also start to realize I rule only me. I cannot rule anybody else, nor do I have an inclination to. This is a time to say that I'm paving the way for who I need to be, for where I need to be, for what I'm discovering, for what I'm becoming. And as we embrace this, we embrace our hearts. Aquarius, we're ruled very powerfully by our hearts. It's almost funny sometimes that we are not a water sign energy, but yet the logic comes in, the insight comes in, the way that we need to kind of departmentalize and understand everything is important, and that's the air sign energy within us. But air and water come together. The mind and the heart need to be as one. In our inner selves, we're going to find that to be a powerful, purposeful way forward. The sense of this is what I love, this is who I am, this is where I need to be. And that moves us to the hangman. Now we start to see things differently because we're not trying to get everybody to line up. It's like going to be like herding cats during this time. If we try to get everything to line up properly, it's going to be like herding cats, which is just frustrating and impossible. And so here with the hangman, we start to see things differently. We start to see ourselves differently. We start to see the way that we want to move forward quite differently than the way that we had been moving forward before. As we look at this, we find ourselves caught between two worlds. And that's what Scorpio energy brings. It brings the spiritual world and it brings the waking world. It has us seeing things with openness and with honesty and with insight and with ideas. It has us embracing the place that we want to move forward in, but it also has us embracing what our heart has been longing for. There are things that are going to come forward that we can think, I've always longed for this, and yet it terrifies me. What if this changes my world? What if this throws me out of my comfort zone and into a world that I'm not sure I'm ready to walk into? What if it changes everything? And that's going to be a big what if here. What if I do this and things aren't the same? And it can be a very small way that things are different, but it's going to be a very large way for us. And so the hangman has us seeing things differently. And it's from this chaos that we've been in. It's from this change that we've been embracing. It's from the sense of things have been taken out of the box and now they don't fit in the way that they came out. And so here, we're looking at this, we're embracing this, we're understanding this, but we're also understanding that divinity doesn't always want us to be comfortable. Divinity wants to push us further and further so that we grow more and more, so that we can see and learn that we can fly, so that we can embrace the unexpected and go after what we have dreamed of and go after what we have longed for. The tower has rocked us, and this might be a scar that it doesn't fully heal. No, that's wrong. It does heal, but you know when you have a bad scar and it pulls and you can feel it, like especially when it rains or when it's cold outside, that's going to be this energy here. This could be for some of us, not for all of us, but it can be that we know this, we notice this, we understand this. This is a time where we see things differently. Why? Because we had our world turned upside down. This could also be a time where, we're getting over an illness, or we've dealt with, a loss that we never expected to, or a pain or a hurt or a devastation in our lives that we never expected to, but it changes the way that we see things. It can also change the way that we see ourselves. And that's where the Queen of Cups comes in. Because this is kindness. This is love. This is connection. This is saying here that no matter how much our heart has been turned, no matter what doors we're walking through now, we have to lead with our heart. We have to lead with the kindness and the introspection and the honor of ourselves. We have to connect. And if we do not connect, we're going to feel like we fall apart. This is going to be a time where love matters, where kind words are important, even if we're the only ones giving them. And yet that can make us feel frustrated because we feel like we're in the wrong place, we're in the wrong world, we're in the wrong, space and time. But Spirit's saying here, move forward in the kindness that you want to see in the world. Move forward with that kindness wrapped around you. Move forward with your heart. Move forward nurturing that of the next generation. And it doesn't mean that we have to nurture our children. Well, we do have to nurture our children, but it doesn't mean that we have to nurture a generation that we ourselves have produced. It can be that by our example, by the energy that we put out into the world, we start to nurture that which is growing, that which is becoming, that which is seeing. And we start to have this different approach come forward. An approach of kindness, an approach of love, an approach of connection. And it leads us to the Ace of Swords. It leads us to God, Source, Spirit, however we see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift just for us. A gift that cuts through the negativity, the doubt, the fear, the cobwebs in our mouth that makes us feel like we can't move forward, that what we have to say isn't new, and yet it is. Because we're seeing things just a little bit differently. We're going after what we want. We're going after what we're seeing. This is a time to embrace the power of our voice, to embrace the instincts and the ferocity of ourselves. We cut through a lot of negativity. And as we cut through this negativity, we stand in our power. This is a time where people are going to sit there and say, wow, Aquarius, like, what's going on? Something has changed, and it's going to be us. It's the assertiveness of the way that we're moving forward, and yet the kindness for which we are doing so, which people don't seem to think goes together, but goes together absolutely beautifully. Kindness, assertiveness, tenacity, dedication. It moves us to the moon. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading. Oh, goodness. And show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. At our root, we have don't let pride get in the way. Sovereignty. As we take power, as we take control, don't let pride get in the way. We're going to find that the things that we do to say, oh yeah, well, I'll prove it to you. That's going to be the things that we need to kind of step back from. Those are going to be the times where pride gets in the way. But here, as we embrace the sovereignty of ourselves, as we embrace the power of what we want, we start to see the way that we need to move forward, the sovereignty of the moon, the majesty that this moon brings. It's also going to be that connection to the things that we can't turn away from, the things that are so intrinsically important to us. It moves us then to meditate and to contemplate the masculine. So it's meditating and contemplating the masculine. That's really quite it, which is a beautiful thing, especially since we have the King of Cups here. How do we embrace our masculine energy? You know, we have this talk of toxic masculinity, but anything taken to an extreme, you can have toxic femininity as well. Here we have the sense of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine coming forward, each having its worth, each having its power, as we have the sovereignty, which is a queen, and the lunar god, which is a man. And so here we're embracing both of these energies within us. We're embracing this power and this balance and this meditate and contemplate on what does this mean to me? Do I embrace this energy? Do I fear this energy? Can I embrace a masculine side of myself, or do I feel overwhelmed by the idea? How do I move forward? Where is it that I want to be? How is it that I balance this? Is my masculine energy more powerful or less powerful? Where do I stand? This is going to be something that's important. And what do I think masculine energy is? That could be also a very good question as we meditate and contemplate the way forward, because what Spirit is saying here and what the moon is saying here is that I'm bringing you both. I'm bringing you the sacred masculine and I'm bringing you the sacred feminine, and the combination of the two, this beautiful, sensual dance that we are doing within ourselves, to be able to embrace both energies, to be able to move forward, to be able to unlock doors. That's going to be important here. Adjustments are required. Hunger. Adjustments are required for what we hunger for what we want, for what we need, for what we're looking at the future for. So we're going to be hungry here. We're going to be searching. We're going to be, driven by it. And then we have the full moon in Aquarius. So we shine through in the moon. And it says here, show the world the real you. Discernment. But be discerning with who gets to see your dreams and your hopes and your wishes and desires. Show the world the real you, but be discerning with how much you show, and when you show it, and to whom. Our subconscious Luna message is it's time to take action. It's no longer time to sit back. Self-love. It's time to take action through self-love, through self-discovery, through this sense of this is me, period, end of discussion. You don't like it? Fine. That's fine. But I love who I am. And now I'm standing firmly and powerfully within me. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of the chariot, our emotions just taking hold, our subconscious and conscious self not knowing what's going on. And so here we find balance. Here we need balance. And we also need balance with people around us, because it's going to be so easy for them to just run off and do what it is that they think they're supposed to do. Just fly off the handle. And we're just going to say, okay, wait, you know what? Step back here. What the heck? Our subconscious chakra energy is truth, the throat chakra. We need to speak truth. Again, things that were swept under the rug, things that have been building up and building up for so long, we need to release it. Even if it's just to acknowledge it within ourselves. Even if it's to say, you know what, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not playing this game anymore. That's going to be powerful. We're finding our voice and we're embracing our voice. Our subconscious rooted message is the Hermit. This is Virgo energy. Now, this can be that we have a tendency to really turn into ourselves and not look at the outside world. But this is also going to be, we're going to be warned of going to extremes during this time, turning so much inward that we don't see anything else, but also turning so much outward that we don't see ourselves. So this is going to be a time where at our root, we need to connect. We need to connect with who we are. We need to connect with what we want. We need to give ourselves permission to want this, to go after this. And it leads us then to our subconscious inner self, which is the Nine of Swords. We're going to overthink, nightmares, doubts, fears, overthinking, overanalyzing, just being completely overwhelmed. And the Nine of Swords says there needs to be balance here. Don't get into your own head so much. Be kind and considerate to yourself. Our subconscious emotional message is the Four of Pentacles. This is vampiric energy. This is a sense of energy being drained away. People taking up our time, taking up our energy. Now, it's not simply people taking up our time, like I need to talk to you type of thing. What it is going to be is the sense of I feel drained. I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I can't move forward. I feel like I don't know. And it's going to be overwhelming for us. It's going to be intense for us. It's going to be a time where we're looking at things that come up from our past and we're like, well, why the heck is that still affecting me? That happened 18 million different years ago. So here we're going to find that what we're holding on to is keeping us from embracing our richness, from embracing our power, from embracing what we want within our lives. And this can be subconsciously, this could be consciously, this could be something that we think, oh, well, that person was just telling me the truth of what I need to hear. And yeah, that could be the case. But this is also a time where we need to not hold on to the negative, hurtful things and think, well, they were just speaking straight with me. It's like, no, let it go. Let it go and let us move forward. And it moves us to our subconscious public arena self with the Seven of Pentacles. Faith. Have patience. Have faith in what spirit is developing because it's going to be more than you imagined. All right. All right, Aquarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this new moon. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aquarius, and may you have a blessed moon.